Hey friend, are you asking yourself, is this what I really want to be doing with my life? I don't think so. I think there's something else that I'm meant to be doing. Welcome to the Painting Your Path podcast, where we have real conversations about what it takes to step out, be bold, and do you. I'm your host, Clarissa Castillo-Ramsey. Let's dive in. Hey there, and welcome back to another episode of Painting Your Path. I'm your host, Clarissa Castillo-Ramsey, and as always, I'm so glad you're here today. If you've ever found yourself navigating big transitions, maybe it's shifting your career, rethinking your relationship with money, or moving through a health challenge, then this episode is going to speak to you. Today, I'm joined by the amazing Sherry Parks, a CPA turned life and money mindset coach who helps women transform the way they relate to money and life. Her story is one of deep reinvention, and this conversation gets real about what it means to slow down, to listen to your body, and truly live your truth. We talk about her bold pivot from the world of accounting to coaching, the emotional side of money, and what matters most. And hint, it's not spreadsheets. And what a recent health scare taught her about surrender, healing, and self-care. Sherry's wisdom is grounded and generous. And whether you're in the messy middle of your own transformation or just craving a more empowered relationship with money, you're going to get so much out of this episode. And speaking of transformation, if you've been craving clarity, connection, and creative breakthroughs of your own, I want to personally invite you to join me this summer in beautiful Topanga Canyon, California, for my in-person women's retreat, Creative Breakthroughs, happening August 22nd through 24th. This is your time to unplug, reconnect with yourself, and make space for what's next. All in a nourishing nature-filled setting with a beautiful group of like-hearted women. You'll find the link in the show notes to learn more about the retreat and to save your spot. All right, so let's dive in to my conversation with Sherry Parks. Welcome, Sherry. It's so good to have you on the Painting Your Path podcast.
Thank you for having me, Clarissa. I'm happy to be here.
Well, I know we're going to talk about a couple of things that are happening in your life. And just a reminder for people, this season is all about working through what I'm going to call the messy middle of life. This is reality. So Sherry's going to share some of the things that are happening in her life, as well as things that she's doing to help herself move through it. But before we get into that, Sherry, could you just share a little bit about yourself so the audience can get to know you?
Sure. Well, I'm a CPA by trade, and I worked in the insurance industry for many years. And then I quit my job to become a coach. And for a while, I just did money mindset coaching, and I loved that. But then I realized that people's relations to money generally crops up somewhere else in their life. So now I do both life and money mindset coaching. And I also still work part-time as an accountant, just to kind of fill my days when I'm not coaching, and because I love it. I love both pretty equally, actually. And so it just makes for, kind of a mix of things to do throughout the day, and it really keeps me engaged.
I love that, Sherry. And I'm kind of similar to you. I like doing different things to, you know, occupy my time to help different groups of people. And I'd love to dive into your kind of expansion in your coaching business. And when we met, you were really focused on the money mindset, which is fantastic. You came and spoke in my group too,
Mhm.
which was so helpful. But I'm curious if you could share with the audience about this decision to expand into life coaching as well.
Yeah. Well, it was just interesting. Like I had a former client, a money mindset client, reach out to me, and she just said, I have this person that I really want you to talk to. She's just started her VA business and she really needs some, support around money. Would you be willing to have a conversation with her? So I was, of course agreed. And I had this call with this lady, and she was like, she's like, everything that you share is very helpful, but for some reason, I'm just really feeling like you can help my husband. He's a school teacher and he's got struggles in his life and stress, lots of stress. And she's like, I just feel like you might be able to help him. And so that was kind of my first foray into like something other than money mindset. And he did become my client. And we worked together for 3 months. And if they to hear them both tell it, they would both hire me just because um, they love the work that I do, but just finances don't allow them to on a teacher's salary and a VA salary. But anyway, like that was my first kind of experience with doing something this outside of just money mindset. And it just really intrigued me that how it all came to be. And also just like seeing the fact that relating to people and coaching people really is very similar regardless of your topic. Like we all have things that we need to dig into. And so that was kind of the first step for me to realize, okay, I can do more than I'm doing and I'm excited to do it. So that's kind of how that worked. Did I answer the
Yeah,
question?
you sure did. And I think that's so awesome because they saw in you something beyond like money mindset.
Yes.
And I've had a couple of coaches say this, how you do one thing is how you do everything. And
Yes.
so to your point, like what's going on in the finance part of your life could be dripping over into your health, relationships, how you're leading your life. And I love that this happens so naturally for you because sometimes it can be stressful. I mean, for me, I was like, I enjoyed what I was doing, but something felt off. And it took me a while to get there. So that's one way, that shift can show up. But I love how it came to you with one of your clients saying, "Hey, I think I see something in you that can
Mhm.
help my husband." And so now, Sherry, I'm just curious how, like, what do your offers look like now?
Yeah. Well, at that time I did 3 month packages and 6 month packages. So now I only do 6 month or 12 month package just because I see that a lot of times 3 months just really isn't enough time. Because in a coaching relationship, as you know, you're building trust. And if you don't really know the person when you're going into it, it does take a while to build that trust, to get the momentum going, to get, the conversations really happening and going where they need to, right? So, yeah, I do either a 6 month or a 12 month package. And usually um, it just depends on what they're looking for, the pricing. But it's usually around 4,000 for the 6 month and then eight for the 12.
And I'd love to hear, like, how much, like, how do you, what am I trying to ask? Like, are you bringing in life aspects now to to your to your coaching conversation, since it sounds like it's beyond money at this point?
Yeah, really, I do. Like, if a new person comes to me, I start with a whole kind of picture of their life. Like, we look at all different aspects of their life or several different aspects of their life to see where they're feeling stressors or where they're feeling stuck. Um, and, of course, money comes into the conversation always. And so then from
Right.
there, the conversation goes where it will. It's kind of like
Yeah.
one of those things like, what is the big thing that, comes up in this conversation? And so then from there, I share with them what I see, and then they can choose, obviously. So right now, I kind of have a 50-50 mix. Like, I have some that are just straight money mindset, and that's how they came into the program. But of course, life, daily life, weekly life, all that comes into it too. So it's not just we talk about money, for 6 months.
Right,
So,
right.
yeah.
Yeah, thank you. I was just curious, and that's just, again, so nice to have that natural transition.
Yes.
Well, I know you're also going through a health situation in your life. So this is also kind of like an in-between state for you. And I
Mhm.
know with my spasmodic dysphonia that I don't even want to identify with this thing, but it's been a challenge, I'm not gonna lie, like working through it.
Mhm.
And I know when we reconnected, you were sharing a little bit about what you're going through. And
Mhm.
I think there's so many people tuning in where something's happening in their health world. So I would love for you to just share your story.
Yeah. Um, well, without getting into too many specifics, I had gone to the doctor and got this lab test that came back um, in a way that was totally unexpected for me. And it was not a good result. It was definitely like potentially leading to cancer and those kind of things. And so, like, the question was like, well, what do I do to fix this? And of course, her answer was, well, we're going to wait and see. And so
Oh,
it's
wow.
like, so it's not only am I like in this phase of like this new diagnosis, but I'm in this phase where I can't like actually take action. And so it was really difficult at first. Like, I had, a lot of anxiety and a lot of just like fear coming up because I was like, I don't know what's going to happen. Like, I don't know if you and I specifically talked about this, Clarissa, but I've had both of my parents died of cancer. Um, both of my grandparents on my mom's side died of cancer. So I have a lot of cancer in my family. So, like, just this idea that there's something in my body that could be growing a cancer, like, was, very stressful and uh, fear. I mean, frankly, I was scared. So, it's just been really difficult for me to like, okay, slow myself way down. Like, I just had to be like, okay, there's nothing I can do at this point except wait and see. I can support my body. I can give it like lots of things that are going to help my immune system fight off whatever's in there. I can really just like treat it really well. So that was kind of like my first kind of like transition from the fear phase was like, okay, what
Sort of.
actions can I take? What can I do to make me feel like I am doing something? And during that process, I kind of realized that even though I wasn't specifically taking action, my body was still taking action for me. So it wasn't like I could see it, but I knew that it was, because in general, I've had good health. So it's like,
Right.
okay, so this just cropped up. Like, where did it come from? And it may mean nothing. Like, I go back in a few months, it may be gone. Whatever, it could have just been a red flag. Who knows? But it's just like, really, I had to slow myself down and just be like, okay, you know, there's time. you can work on this. You can, your body's already working on it. So just slow your roll kind of situation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a great strategy. To just slow down. And for you, Sherry, how easy or difficult was that? Because I know as a CPA, you definitely have a busy season. And how did you help your mindset shift to just taking it easy?
Yeah. I mean, it was slowing down has been a message in my life for quite a few years now. So it is kind of like one of the things that I can see in myself. Like I want to just like rush, 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 do, see all the doctors, get all the second opinions, get more tests, the whole thing. Um, and I also can see the value in that slowing down process that I've done in other areas of my life, like my coaching, for example, like really slowing down enrollment processes and even in my accounting work, really slowing down my day-to-day work, just, instead of trying to rush through things and check things off the list, slowing down has just helped me like just have more peace of mind throughout my day. So, because you understand, like sometimes when you just get in that mode where you go, 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 your stress level
Yes,
rises because your body's like, I gotta, keep going or I'm not going to survive, kind of survival mode.
yes.
But if you slow down and just kind of take some breaths and one thing, like focus on the one thing in front of you, it really does help with that kind of like feeling inside of anxiety, I've found. So yeah, that when I first started practicing slowing down, it was really difficult. Like I couldn't see the benefit of it. I couldn't see, but as I've
Right.
done it, I could really see how it benefits my life and my, stress levels and just my mindset overall. So with this, it kind of, like I said, kind of came naturally. It's kind of like, okay, take a few breaths, slow this down, and then go from there. So yeah.
I think that's great. Focus on your breath. Like literally, you don't have to do 20 things in a day. Slow
Mhm.
it down and focus on what's in front of you.
Yes, absolutely.
And I'm just curious if there were any other helpful tools, maybe books or a podcast or advice from a mentor that also helped in this process for you.
Um, yes. So one thing I did do was made an appointment with a Chinese medicine doctor, different than your traditional medicine.
Yeah.
And she, her perspective was, this can totally be fixed. We're just going to support your body and what it's already doing. So I've just really been focusing on boosting my immune system, like extra vitamin C and echinacea and those kind of things. Um, and like while I still don't know if they've helped, it's helped me with that I need to do something kind of phase. So that was helpful, like just hearing her talk and hearing her say, like this doesn't mean you have cancer in your future. Doesn't mean that. We're gonna do what we can to support your body. And so that was super helpful. Um, and then like at the time, I just talked to my coach about it and I was just like, this, I don't know where this came from. And so she's a body coach. Like she helps people with regulate their nervous system and really tune into the messages the body's giving. And it just so happened that I was in her program when this came up. So it was like I was
Divine
in the right,
timing.
yes, I was in the
Yes.
right place. So she just really helped me like just go through the emotions and just like let my body process them. And that was so supportive, like the anger, like where how to,
Right.
how do I have this, like anger. So I did some like things like punching a pillow
Oh,
and
that
just
feels
like
so good. I
speaking it
do it
out
too.
loud, like,
Yeah.
oh, I don't understand. This is not fair, and all the things that come up. Um, and then other things like sometimes uh just pushing on the wall, like just standing there and pushing the wall, like somehow that moves things in your body, like it gives it some activation that maybe it needs. Um, so that was really supportive for me. Like, I think the reason that I'm a coach myself is that I've had a lot of coaches over the years, and it's like coaching really can transform your mind, your whole life, because you're that outside person can help you see things differently and process things differently. And that's what my coach did for me during this.
Oh, that's so beautiful. Thank you for sharing those tips.
Yes.
And I know we had a coach together, and I remember her always saying it's so hard to see our own label because we're in our jar.
Yes.
So, coaches help us see another perspective. And I
Yeah.
love that the Chinese doctor said, don't have it in your mind that this means you're also going to follow suit of, your ancestors. I don't know about you, but I'm just going to say it. Sometimes I feel like in the medical world, there's no hope. And I'm talking about for myself and this voice thing. I know I can change it. I know I can shift out of it. But I've heard from so many professionals. Nope, once you have it, you're going to have it forever. You're never going to be cured. You're always going to have to get Botox. And that works for some people, and that's great if you want to do it. And I'm committed to healing it naturally.
Mm-hmm.
So it might be a longer road, but I'm grateful that I'm finding people out there kind of similar to what your person said. Nope, just because you have this thing doesn't mean you're gonna, you know, it means anything. So
Yeah.
thanks, Sherry, for sharing all of that.
You're so welcome. And I do want to just add there that, it's like traditional medicine is that. It's like this prescribed thing, this path that they follow. But our bodies aren't like that. Like our bodies
Right,
are unique and they're different and they have the power to heal if we just allow them to. And sometimes that means we have to make radical changes in our lifestyle or something else. But sometimes it just means like being open, like allowing ourselves to
right.
be open to the possibility of something different than the traditional medicine route?
Yeah. And I'm not trying to poo poo on traditional because we need
No.
it too
Yes,
for a lot of
absolutely.
things. And our mind is so powerful too. And
Yes,
of course, what
absolutely.
we eat and how much we rest is also critical. So thanks
Yeah.
for having this conversation with us, Sherry.
Yes. Thank you for
Um,
having me. I love talking
yeah,
about this stuff.
right. And I really want to highlight people who are in it, who are going through it. So thank you
Mhm.
for being willing to share your story. And if you're okay with it, I'd love to transition into what I call rapid fire questions, just so
Okay.
the audience can get to know you even more.
Okay.
I'm curious, Sherry, do you have a word of the year?
I do not have a word of the year this year. That I usually do, but this year I just decided I'm just gonna follow life and see what happens.
That's nice. That's perfect. Well, at the time of this recording, it's summertime, and I'm just curious if you have any summertime plans.
Well, actually, I just got back from a trip to Costa Rica a couple of weeks
Oh,
ago.
nice.
And that was phenomenal. It was like off the grid, no connectivity, like no lights,
Fantastic.
like open windows, no AC, the whole nine yards. And it was really one of the best experiences of my life.
Oh, that's wonderful. And I got married in Costa Rica. So that has a very special place in my heart.
Yes.
How about something you're looking forward to in the second half of 2025?
I would say that I am looking forward to um hmm, ooh, that's a tough one. Um, well, I will say my brother and nephew are coming for vacation here in Florida. So I'm looking forward to that. I always love spending time with my nephew. He's a joy. So, and then of course my brother too. Like, don't get me wrong, I love my brother, but it's, the nephew is definitely a draw. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that.
Oh, that's awesome. And how about a current obsession? It could be a TV show, a food. It could be anything.
Um, okay, so I've recently gotten into fantasy kind of books, and I just finished
Nice.
this series by Brent Weeks. Um, I can't remember the title of the series, but like it's a fantasy. If you like fantasy, you'll love it. But this guy has complete way of describing things in the most lyrical, beautiful fashion. Like there were passages in the book that I had to like share with other people. They were just so beautiful. So kind of he's my new obsession. Like I'm getting on Amazon looking at all his other books and I'm like, okay, I gotta read more.
How cool. Thanks for sharing that because I haven't heard of that yet. So I'll have to, I'm trying to get out of reading business books and like mindset books to expand my repertoire. So I'll definitely check him out. Sherry, where's the best place for people to connect with you?
I'm on Facebook just under my name, Sherry Parks. And I'm also on Instagram. I think it's Sherry Parks 89, maybe underscore 89, something like that. It's got an 89 in it because Sherry
Perfect.
Parks was taken on
Oh, God.
Instagram. Or you can email me directly. My website is down right now because it was all focused on money mindset and it just didn't feel true. So I've taken that down. I'm working on a new, more comprehensive website for everything that I do. So my email is sherry@livesinbalance.com. You can email me at any time and I'll be happy to hear from you.
Awesome. And then the last question that I have, Sherry, is the name of this podcast is Painting Your Path. What does painting your path mean to you?
Mm. I love that question. And I think just living your truth is what it means to me, like living my truth and being true to who I am and standing firm in it. I think it's so easy, especially as women, to try to please other people and just to, do what they want versus what we really know inside of us is right for us. And so I'm kind of in this phase where I just want to be true to who I am. So that's what painting my path looks like.
Oh, I love it. Thank you so much. And thanks again, Sherry, for being here with us today.
Thank you, Clarissa. I really appreciate you having me.
Oh, yeah, it was fun. And thank you to everybody tuning in. And as I always like to ask, tell us on social media what's your biggest takeaway from our time with Sherry. And until next time, keep painting your path. Bye for now.
Thank you so much for staying till the very end. If you found this episode helpful, please share it with a friend. If you haven't had a chance yet, please write a review and rate the show. I would love to hear your feedback. And I also have a free resource guide for anybody who is asking themselves, am I on the right path for myself now? Or is there something else that I really want to do? Maybe you're in that quandary. Maybe you're wondering what's next. So head over to the show notes and you'll see my Painting Your Path framework guide, download it, and have some fun. Just start exploring. And thank you again for tuning in, and I will see you next week.